99% of homeowners hate wasting time and money during a kitchen renovation. But if you're part of the 1%, I've got really great news. 10 surefire ways to completely screw up your kitchen renovation, ensuring you spend more time, more money, and have more headaches during the whole process. Or you could easily avoid these things, which is obviously what I'm getting at. Go with the first contractor you see. Kitchen renovations can be complicated. In order to make sure that everything is done in a manner that is of good quality, it's recommended that you hire a professional. However, don't just hire the first contractor who picks up the phone. To find a quality contractor at the best price, it's vital that you research a few different contractors. Check out customer reviews, past work, any licenses that they have, and their areas of expertise, and make sure that they've done a kitchen before. While anyone can technically install a kitchen, there's a big difference between a craftsman and a hack job. You'll want to spend a little time finding the right fit, as the outcome of the job really lays in their hands. Not all contractors have the same experience, qualifications, or approach to the renovation process, and by speaking with only one contractor, you may miss out on finding a professional who better understands your vision, your budget, or your timeline. It's important to gather multiple bids and meet with several contractors to get a clear sense of who's the right fit for your project. Additionally, different contractors may offer varying levels of craftsmanship, communication, and reliability. Without comparing their track records, you might end up with a contractor who doesn't meet your expectations or delivers the quality that you were hoping for. Taking the time to vet several options allows you to check references, review past projects, and ensure that the contractor is properly licensed and insured. This extra effort upfront will save you time, money, and frustration in the long run. Don't include any storage space. No matter what room you're in, you probably have a lot of stuff. For a comfortable cooking experience, you want your kitchen to be clean and clutter-free. One of the biggest complaints homeowners have about their kitchens is the lack of usable storage. So if you don't plan for adequate functional and accessible storage, you'll regret it. Efficient storage is a game changer when it comes to creating a functional kitchen. When your storage is well planned, everything you need is easily accessible, reducing time spent searching for utensils, cookware, or ingredients. This improves workflow and makes cooking and cleaning much smoother. Strategic storage solutions like pullouts, magic corners, and even dividers in your drawers can help maximize every available space, helping you avoid cluttered countertops and overstuffed cabinets. When storage is optimized, it allows for better organization, keeping your kitchen tidy and functional. Beyond function, efficient storage also enhances the overall aesthetic of your kitchen. When items are stored properly and out of sight, it creates a clean, streamlined look that makes the space feel larger and more inviting. By utilizing smart storage solutions, you can create a kitchen that not only looks good, but also works well for your daily needs, making your time spent in the kitchen more enjoyable and productive. Now, I've heard from multiple homeowners that this process sounds exhausting and complicated. So my advice to them was this: start with the big items, pot storage and other cookware, small appliances that need a home, food, and things that in your current space you wish you had storage for. Then move on to the everyday essentials, like flatware and utensils, cutlery, gadgets, spices, knives, mugs, you name it. The last layer is items that you use occasionally, but you still want to store in the kitchen. Maybe your stand mixer or even cookbooks. You can get as detailed as you want, but don't overwhelm yourself trying to find a home for every single item. As long as you have a general plan, you'll be well on your way, but don't skip this step, even if it's at the most basic level. You should DIY everything. DIYing a kitchen renovation has its pros, particularly when it comes to cost savings and creative control. One of the biggest advantages is that you can potentially save significant amounts of money by not paying for labor, which can account for a large portion of the renovation budget. DIYing also gives you full control over the project timeline, design decisions, and materials used, allowing you to customize the renovation to your exact preferences. For those of you who are handy and enjoy taking on home improvement projects, the DIYing experience can be rewarding and a great way for you to gain new skills. However, the cons of DIYing a kitchen renovation can outweigh the benefits, especially if you're not experienced with the level of work involved in a kitchen renovation. Because they're quite complex, they require a complex knowledge of plumbing, electrical, and structural elements, all of which need to be done correctly to ensure safety and long-term durability. Mistakes made in these areas can lead to costly repairs and safety hazards. Additionally, DIYing a project often takes much longer than anticipated, as juggling a renovation with other responsibilities can drag out the timeline. And another downside to DIYing your project is the potential for not meeting local building codes or permit requirements, Many areas require inspections for things like electrical work and plumbing, and failing to get proper permits or meeting those standards can cause legal issues down the road. If you're planning to sell your home in the future, an improperly renovated kitchen can lower your property value or even lead to failed home inspection. While DIYing can be a good option for smaller updates, taking on a full kitchen renovation without professional help can lead to more stress, higher costs, and a less successful outcome. I'm all for DIYing, don't get me wrong. So tackle the areas you're confident in and leave the rest to the contractor that you properly vetted from tip number 1. You should neglect planning. Failed planning in a kitchen renovation can quickly turn what should be an exciting project into a costly disaster. A well thought out plan is the foundation for success, but skipping or rushing through critical details can lead to unexpected problems. Issues arise when homeowners jump into renovations without clearly defining the scope of work. Are you tackling a full kitchen remodel? Or would smaller updates address your needs for better functionality and storage? Failing to answer these questions can lead to overspending and a lackluster result that doesn't solve your initial problems. Additionally, neglecting to create a realistic timeline can throw your whole life into chaos. If you need a kitchen completed before a big family event or a holiday, poor planning could leave you without a functioning space when you need it the most. Perhaps the most disastrous aspect of failed planning is understanding the budget. Many homeowners forget to factor in a 15 to 20% contingency for unexpected costs, which are inevitable in almost any renovation. Whether it's discovering hidden structural issues or needing to upgrade materials, failing to set aside extra funds can lead to financial strain or even an incomplete project. Without a solid plan that addresses layout, budget, timeline, and scope, a kitchen renovation can spiral out of control, turning a dream project into a nightmare. Since we're on the topic of budget, just imagine the kitchen you could have if this wasn't even a thing. But it is, and not understanding your budget is a common problem that homeowners face. This can set you back months in your remodel, or even years, if you end up not having the funds to complete it. Creating a realistic budget for your kitchen renovation is key to ensuring your project stays on track and avoids unexpected financial surprises. The first step is to break down your budget into key categories, including cabinetry, appliances, countertop, labor, and finishes. It's essential to get estimates for each of these components up front and understand what the average cost is in your area. And again, be sure to budget in a contingency plan for the unexpected expenses that may arise, like hidden structural issues or material upgrades. Another tip is to prioritize where you will spend versus where you will save. For example, if custom cabinetry or high-end countertops are important to you, plan to allocate more of your budget there while saving on other items like hardware or backsplash tiles. It's also crucial to balance your budget with the overall value of your home. You don't want to overinvest in a kitchen renovation that you won't get the return of if you plan on selling that home in the future. By carefully planning and prioritizing, you can create a budget that supports both your vision and your finances. Some big ticket items to think about are obvious: cabinets, appliances, labor, countertops, flooring, lighting. But don't forget things like hardware and backsplash, fixtures, sinks and faucets, plumbing supplies, electrical outlets, design fees, change orders, surprises, the not so good kind. There's all kinds of stuff that come into play when you're planning a kitchen budget. You should always have a strict deadline. Setbacks are just part of the remodeling process, so your first timeline will likely need to be adjusted. Just be prepared to account for delays and don't let them cause you too much stress. Plus, you should have planned for this, right? During a kitchen renovation, delays happen for a variety of reasons, and it's important that you are prepared for them. One of the most common issues is material delays, especially when dealing with custom or specialty items like cabinets and countertops. Back orders and damaged deliveries can push your timeline back significantly. Plus, structural surprises like water damage or faulty wiring that only become apparent during demolition can add time and cost to the project, as these need to be addressed before continuing with the renovation. Coordinating between contractors is another common source of delay. Kitchen renovations require multiple trades, such as electricians and plumbers or carpenters, and if one is delayed, it can cause a ripple effect on the others. Scheduling inspections or waiting for permits can also extend the timeline, especially if there are corrections that need to be made. While these delays are frustrating, being aware of them up front can help you set realistic expectations for the project. You should just forget about accessibility. A major part of designing a great kitchen is making sure it's accessible. You should aim to have a kitchen design that not only follows recommended guidelines, but is also personalized to fit your specific needs. Never allow your designer to have the final say on what is or isn't functional. Rely on their advice and experience, but always remember that this is your kitchen and you want it to work for you. So make sure your designer explains to you why something is or is not functional before you make the final decision. The more information you have, the better you'll be at understanding how the kitchen is going to flow. An inaccessible kitchen can create a number of challenges that significantly impact day-to-day life, especially for individuals with mobility issues or specific physical needs. When the kitchen layout doesn't allow for easy movement or access to essential items, basic tasks like cooking, cleaning, and even reaching appliances becomes difficult and frustrating. If countertops are too high or cabinets are hard to reach, it can slow down workflows and make the space less functional. Beyond usability, safety becomes a serious concern. In a non-accessible kitchen, individuals may be forced to use unsafe methods such as standing on a stool or overreaching, which can increase the risk of accidents and injuries. For people with limited mobility, this can turn everyday tasks into hazardous activities. On top of that, not being able to move freely in the kitchen can reduce a person's sense of independence, forcing them to rely on others to do tasks that they would otherwise handle on their own. And comfort is another major issue. If the kitchen isn't designed with accessibility in mind, even simple tasks can become physically taxing. An ergonomic kitchen, one that considers height, reach, and mobility, makes the space more comfortable for everyone, not just those with mobility concerns. And from a long-term perspective, accessibility can also affect the home's value. A kitchen that is not accessible might deter potential buyers, especially those looking for a home that suits a range of needs. Making sure your kitchen is accessible not only improves functionality and safety, but also enhances its appeal and usability for years to come. You should avoid lighting. No matter how nice your kitchen is, it's difficult to cook in if you can't see. Make sure that you shop for adequate lighting for your kitchen. Ask your designer if they can also give you a lighting plan. I've seen lots of beautiful kitchens get poor lighting treatment, and it's really too bad. Now, inadequate lighting can severely impact both functionality and aesthetics. From a functional standpoint, poor lighting makes it difficult to perform essential tasks like chopping, cooking, and cleaning. Without enough task lighting in key areas such as countertops, stovetops, and sinks, visibility is compromised, leading to potential safety hazards. Dim or poorly placed lights can also create shadows in work zones, making it hard to see what you're doing and slowing down your workflow. Aesthetically, that's fun to say, lighting plays a more major role in the atmosphere of the kitchen. Insufficient lighting can make the space feel smaller, darker, and even less inviting. It diminishes the impact of design elements like cabinetry, countertops, and backsplashes, preventing these features from truly standing out. Proper lighting highlights the best parts of your kitchen design, while inadequate lighting can leave the room feeling dull and unbalanced. By ensuring that your kitchen has the right combination of task, ambient, and accent lighting, you can enhance both its functionality and visual appeal. One thing you should definitely do is choose your appliances last. This is a monster of a mistake. If you go through this whole process and don't have your appliances selected, there's a big problem. Not only with your kitchen, but with your designer who didn't think to ask or push you into giving them the specs for your appliances. Appliance selection is crucial for a kitchen plan to come together, and without it, you're potentially wasting a ton of time and a ton of money. Appliances play a central role in how your kitchen operates, and their size, style, and functionality should influence your layout from the very start. Waiting until the end to choose appliances could result in designs that don't fit or optimize your appliance setup. You might find that the cabinetry or countertops, or even your electrical and plumbing placements need to be adjusted to accommodate the appliances, causing a whole bunch of additional costs. Plus, appliances can greatly impact the overall design aesthetic. If you select them after the design elements are already placed, you risk ending up with mismatched, visually uncoordinated components. By choosing appliances early in the planning phase, you can ensure they integrate seamlessly into your cabinetry, countertops, and lighting, helping create a cohesive and functional kitchen that works for the whole family. Not subscribing to my newsletter. Seriously, 20 years of kitchen design expertise delivered straight to your inbox every week. There's a link in the description below. One of the most important areas in your kitchen, which I didn't talk about yet, is the kitchen sink. You really don't want to mess it up. So I've put together a comprehensive video to help you get it right. You should check it out next.